Marhaba, welcome. So I went to Doha and Dubai for 10 days and let me tell you, your skin goes through so many changes whilst on holiday, and here are some tips and tricks on what you should do for your skin whilst you're traveling. So let's go. So if you're traveling on the plane, you need to know that air humidity drops whilst you're in the plane, and this really dries out the skin. So what I advise is to bring moisturizers with you. Bring moisturizers which you can take on the plane, because you can't take too many liquids with you on the plane, and use moisturizers which you feel comfortable in using, because you need to use moisturizers as frequently as possible whilst on the plane. This will hopefully stop drying out your skin and make your skin so plump and fresh for your holiday. The same applies for your lips, so you do not have to use a chapstick, but you can bring a petroleum jelly or a very greasy moisturizer to apply on your lips. You can also use that same greasy moisturizer on your face if you don't mind the grease. This can also allow you to stop bringing too many liquids on the plane. Also, it's super important to keep your body hydrated, because this prevents deep vein thrombosis, which is a condition where clots are formed because you are sitting down in long periods of time due to long haul flights, or you're dehydrated. So it's super important if you're on a long haul flight to walk around and have loads of liquids. I like to keep perfume with me as well, because I want to smell fresh when I leave the plane. I also like to bring a hand disinfectant, because I don't want to doubt the cleaning crew's ability to clean the plane, but I would like to protect myself, especially after COVID global pandemic. Again, I also bring antibacterial hand wipes. So this is where it gets interesting. So most people do not know that you should be wearing sunscreen on the airplane, and it's because these plane windows, yes, they block out UVB light, which, can cause skin cancer, but it doesn't block out UVA and high energy visible light. And UVA light can cause skin cancer, and UVA light and high energy visible light can cause skin aging and hyperpigmentation, i.e. dark spots. What I do recommend if you are taking a daytime flight is to apply a tinted sunscreen every 2 hours if you are sitting next to a window seat and have the shade visor up. A good product to have is a tinted moisturizer, preferably SPF 30 or above, so you can reapply this for hydration as well as sun protection. Or if you don't want to do that and you still want to be protected by the sun, then just take a nighttime flight or sit on the aisle seat, or just put the shade visor down. So we arrived in Doha, and oh my gosh, I was taken back by all the architecture. It just looked out of this world. And I eventually arrived to my accommodation where we're staying with family, and my cousin made such yummy food. This was a very traditional dish, but unfortunately I've forgotten the name of this dish because I was too busy enjoying it. So obviously we had to visit the shopping malls in Doha, and we went to Vendo Mall. This place felt like I was walking around in a royal palace. It felt so luxurious. And speaking of luxury, there were so many designer brands and stores. And there was a huge Sephora in the shopping mall. It literally had its own unit, and there were like 3 or 4 floors in there. So if you are tempted to buy luxury skincare products or high-end skincare products, then you may want to know that sometimes you may be paying for the packaging or the brand name and not the effectiveness of the actual skincare ingredient. And if you want to find out more, then you may want to check out my previous video where I discussed if skincare is worth it. I'll put a link at the end of this video. After that, we went for desserts, and I had this really amazing chocolate crepe. And then we went walking in the Pearl. The weather was humid, and humidity can actually cause worsening of acne. So if you do suffer from acne prone skin and it worsens in humidity, I would suggest to go for a salicylic based cleanser and bring your topical acne treatment with you. I used Tretinoin during my trip, and I did not break out. If you are going swimming in the daytime, then I would advise to get a waterproof sunscreen that can protect you from UVA and UVB, and preferably SPF 30 or above, because when you are swimming, sunlight can still reach you and the UV rays can still reach you underwater. And make sure you wear some protective clothing and sit in the shade where possible. We arrived in Qatar Village, and because there was an Asia Cup going on, there were many people showing their talents with the football. We also seen some traditional Qatari dance, which I think it's Arza. I may have butchered the pronunciation for that. Sorry if I did. And we just started to explore Qatar Village. Honestly, we did so much walking in this area. I think we've definitely hit a target for 10,000 steps. But it's all good because exercise is actually really good for you, and it actually helps with people who have psoriasis or other inflammatory skin conditions. So after Katara Village, we just had a chill day and explored Raffles Doha. This hotel seemed so serene and so calm that you can just unwind and just practice mindfulness. And there has been recent research that mindfulness and meditation can have such a positive impact on chronic skin conditions such as eczema and psoriasis. And I think we just get so accustomed to the hustle and grind and hopping from one activity to another activity that we just don't stop and absorb and take everything in. So I think we felt so relaxed that we felt sleepy, so we needed to get caffeine, and so we went to the pill to get some coffee. We also had some profiteroles where chocolate was poured on top, and if you're a rosacea sufferer, you may not want to know this, but chocolate can trigger your rosacea, and it's all due to an ingredient called cinnamaldehyde. But we were enjoying our coffee and our profiteroles whilst watching the sunset and the view in the Pearl. And for our last day in Doha, we went to Souk al-Waqif, which is like traditional type of market. This place was so vibrant and lively. I loved it. And then we had this traditional Arabic crepe. I think it's called rikak. And a local Qatari woman actually paid for us because we didn't have cash on us, which was so super nice of her. So this crepe had cheese in this, and it was really crispy and really delicious. So for the evening, we had fish, and fish, especially oily fish, has omega-3 fatty acids, which is so good in your skin barrier function, reducing inflammation and promoting wound healing. And this was my favorite part of the trip. We saved the best to last in Doha. We went on a boat, also called an Abra, and we went during sunset time and just seen the beautiful Qatar skyline. But there's no need of explaining it myself. I'll let you witness it yourself. Thank you, Doha, for the truly unforgettable experience.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So we arrived in Dubai, and oh my gosh, there were so many people in Dubai, especially in the Burj Al Khalifa area and in Dubai Mall. And the traffic was crazy in Dubai. But honestly, everything seems so lively. Even at 3 or 4 a.m., you can just walk outside and it feels like you're walking around 3 or 4 p.m. So in busy cities, there is an increase in air pollution. And unfortunately, air pollution can cause premature aging, skin barrier dysfunction, and it can make existing skin conditions worse, such as acne, eczema, or psoriasis. There are still research needed to prevent air pollution damage on your skin, but what I do recommend is that if your skin condition is flaring up, then please visit a dermatologist and use your prescribed treatments. We also visited Global Village in Dubai, and oh my gosh, the shopping was amazing here. If you can haggle, you can get such amazing things in such great prices. We had food from all over the world. I ate so much. In each of the countries, they had menu performances. This was Pakistan's. My favorite is Yemen because there are so many spices there, and I love collecting spices, and I bought some which I could not get in the UK. And there were so many different types of honey. And in dermatology, we sometimes use honey as sterile wound dressing because it has antibacterial properties. So we stayed in Jumeirah Beach, and this was our hotel view, which was absolutely amazing. So naturally we stayed out in the beach as long as possible. And obviously this wouldn't be a skincare video without showing off my sunscreen. So I used the Eucerin tinted sunscreen for my face because this protects against UVA damage, UVB damage and visible light. So this will help with preventing aging, hyperpigmentation and skin cancers. For my body, I used the Altruist Sunscreen SPF 50. This is relatively cheap and it feels moisturizing, and it prevents skin cancer and signs of aging because it blocks UVA and UVB. For swimming, I use a waterproof sunscreen. You can use a kids sunscreen and it blocks UVA and UVB. Kids sunscreen is also great for sensitive skin. Try to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours and stay in the shade and wear sun protective clothing. We just loved seeing the sunset views on the beach. And for some reason, being near the water or the sea just has a really calming effect. And this can help lower stress levels and thus lower cortisol levels and help lower down your inflammatory pathway, and helps with conditions like eczema, arthritis or other inflammatory conditions. It also helps reduce your sebum production, and this can help with acne. I see so many patients in clinic who their skin just gets better after a holiday, and I wish I can prescribe a holiday for all my patients. And I came to the end of my trip. Honestly, I did not want to leave, but if you enjoyed this and you want further videos just like this, then you may want to subscribe for more.